U.S. Marines test new suicide drone squads for future warfare. The nature of modern warfare is changing faster than ever before. From artificial intelligence to unmanned systems, militaries around the world are racing to adapt to a new battlefield reality. One of the most controversial and significant developments is the rise of so-called suicide drones, also known as loitering munitions. In a recent test, the United States Marine Corps has begun experimenting with new suicide drone squads designed for future warfare. This move signals a major shift in how battles may be fought in the coming years. What are suicide drones? Suicide drones, or loitering munitions, are unmanned aerial vehicles designed to fly over an area, search for a target, and then strike by crashing directly into it. Unlike traditional drones that return to base after a mission, these drones are built for one-way attacks. Military experts say these systems combine the surveillance ability of drones with the striking power of missiles. They are smaller, faster to deploy, and often cheaper than conventional weapons, making them attractive for modern armies. U.S. Marines' new drone squads. According to defense sources, the U.S. Marine Corps is testing organized drone squads, where multiple suicide drones operate together under coordinated command. These squads are meant to support Marines on the ground by providing rapid strike capability, real-time intelligence, and flexible response options during combat operations. Rather than relying only on aircraft or artillery, Marines can now use drones as an extension of their battlefield awareness and firepower. The goal is to make units more mobile, more precise, and less exposed to direct enemy fire. Why is the U.S. military doing this? The decision comes after observing recent global conflicts where drones played a decisive role. Modern wars have shown that unmanned systems can disrupt traditional armies, destroy armored vehicles, and overwhelm air defenses at relatively low cost. U.S. military planners believe future wars will be faster, more decentralized, and heavily dependent on technology. By testing suicide drone squads now, the Marines aim to stay ahead of potential adversaries and adapt to evolving threats. How these drones change the battlefield. Experts say these drone squads could transform battlefield tactics in several ways. First, they reduce risk to soldiers. Drones can engage targets without putting troops directly in harm's way. Second, they increase precision. Compared to traditional bombardment, drones can identify and strike specific targets more accurately. Third, they provide speed. Drone units can be deployed quickly, especially in remote or contested areas. This makes them particularly useful in modern conflicts where speed and information dominance are critical. Ethical and legal concerns. Despite their military advantages, suicide drones raise serious ethical and legal questions. Human rights organizations warn about the risks of increased automation in warfare, especially if decision-making becomes too dependent on technology. The U.S. military states that human operators remain responsible for approving strikes, and that strict rules of engagement apply. However, critics argue that as drone warfare expands, controlling escalation and avoiding civilian harm becomes more difficult. Global reaction and military competition. The U.S. is not alone in developing these systems. Many countries are investing heavily in drone technology, including both state and non-state actors. This has led to concerns about a global arms race in unmanned weapons. Analysts say that the spread of suicide drones could change the balance of power, especially in regions where traditional military strength is uneven. Smaller forces may gain new capabilities. What this means for the future. The testing of suicide drone squads by the U.S. Marines suggests that future wars will rely less on massive troop deployments and more on intelligent, networked systems. Technology, rather than sheer numbers, is becoming the key factor in military strength. As these tests continue, the world will be watching closely. The success or failure of these drone squads could shape military doctrines for decades to come. In an era defined by rapid technological change, the battlefield is evolving beyond recognition. The U.S. Marines' experiment with suicide drone squads highlights both the promise and the danger of modern warfare. Whether these systems will make wars shorter and more precise, or more unpredictable, remains an open question. For now, one thing is clear: the future of warfare is unmanned, intelligent, and already unfolding.